Hey, it's Sheeta from Sheeta's on the Loose, and today I'm talking to you about the places I would consider moving to if Mexico City was not on my list, which I can't imagine Mexico City not being on my list, but just in case it wasn't, these are the places that would be at the top of my list. Now, why am I doing this? Okay, I'm in a lot of expat groups, and over again, I hear people asking for recommendations of where to go, but they're not really putting in any criteria of what they're looking for. It's kind of like, what country should I move to? I don't know you. I don't know your life. I can't tell you like, we need more than that. We need more than that. But I don't have more than that for you. And so I started off really simple. I said, if I have $1,000 a month to spend, right? And there's a reason I'm picking $1,000. So if I have $1,000 a month to spend, where could I go? Where would I want to go in the world? Where could I start over? $1,000 a month crosses Mexico City off of the list based on the lifestyle I want to live. So this is really going to come from a very personal perspective. It's my perspective. I am a Black woman from the United States who, in this scenario, has $1,000 a month. I am 42. I like nice things. I use the Earth Awaits as my calculator for this to get within $1,000 a month. And I picked an opulent lifestyle because I know myself and I know how I like to live. So where can I live opulently for $1,000 a month? If this is not your story, if this does not align with what you're looking for, you probably have a lot more options. I'm only getting into 5 today. My top 5 options for living the lifestyle I want to live in places where I think I would be comfortable based on other people's experiences. So some of these places I've never been to, but I've spoken to people who've been there and have had good experiences. And so that's how I'm picking the list. If you're watching this and you're a Black woman, know that I thought about our perspective, traveling alone as a woman, traveling alone as a Black person. You know, your experiences differ greatly from other people's. And so this video is for you. It's also for you if you're not in that category, but you just kind of want to know, where would I live with $1,000 a month? And the reason I picked $1,000 a month is because if you're in the US and you're working right now and you're thinking about retirement, if you're thinking about retiring early, if you're thinking about FIRE, your number for retirement is probably a lot higher than $1,000 a month. But if all you needed in retirement was $1,000 a month, imagine how much lower that number would be. Imagine how much earlier you'd be able to retire. The FIRE number, if you're spending $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year times 25. I believe that's $300,000 a saved. Let me double check that. All right. Yes, I did my math. I went back and I checked. Yes, that is $300,000. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but most people in the US don't think they can retire unless they're a millionaire. But if you could retire outside of the US for $300,000, that it gets you there 3 times faster, right? You're there a lot faster than you might be if you waited to be a millionaire in the United States. So think about how picking a place outside of the US to live long term, especially if you can work remotely, if you can get your expenses down to $1,000 a month while also saving for retirement, you can speed up your FIRE journey a lot faster and you can really work the system. Okay, I already mentioned that I got my numbers from the Earth Awaits, but I want to read you this one specific thing because it kind of captured how I feel whenever I give numbers online. Oh, please. This is from the Earth Awaits. The truth is that we simply cannot anticipate every possible individual's needs, nor can we reliably predict individual unanticipated costs. If you are seriously considering moving abroad, please get the requisite health and travel coverage appropriate for your medical conditions. So the numbers here don't speak to medical costs. They cover medical insurance in their calculator. I can't tell you what it's going to cost, including your specific medical needs or your 3 children's educations. This is the budget for one person living opulently in one of these 5 countries. This is not going to cover everybody. It should give you an idea of places to look at based on my budget. You can kind of calculate how your budget might go into it, or you can go to the Earth Awaits yourself. That is TheEarthAwaits.com. I will link to it in the description because I probably spelled it wrong, because that's what happens when I'm working. My brain and my mouth don't always get the same thing going. So your scenario might differ. You may live in one of these cities and have a different budget. You may say, I live there, there's no way you can spend that much, or there's no way, I spent way less, or I spent way more. Shit, I don't care. I don't. I'm literally reading you numbers from the internet. I don't. If you had a different number, yay, or boo, if it was significantly higher, I don't know. You can let me know in the comments, but there's no point in telling me that I'm wrong, because everyone's budget is going to differ. And people love coming on the internet, finding a Black woman and telling her she's wrong, even though they use the same sources of information for their information. I don't know what it is. I don't know why y'all do it. You don't have to do it here. Mama don't care. I don't, I promise you. The other reason that I picked $1,000 as my number to work with is Nomad Capitalist. He's a YouTuber you probably already know about. He has a video called Best Places I Would Live with $1,000 per month. I wanted to see if my cities would be the same as his. I think I had 2 cities the same. The rest were not the same. Because we're looking for different things, right? Like if you think your life aligns with his more than aligns with mine, you should go look at his list of cities. If you think your life aligns with mine, more than aligns with his, look at my list, look at both of them. It doesn't matter. But we are 2 different people with 2 different lists. You can find a lot of lists like this around the internet, I'm sure. These are my cities of my preference. First on the list, Istanbul. Istanbul hit a couple of things that are really important to me. It has a high walk score, moderate crime, the lower the better. You can get a tourist visa that can be extended for 9 months, or a short-term residence visa, which sounds a little bit trickier, but I think I know people who have it. So it's definitely possible to get. The cost of living a month there was $879.81 for one person living outside of the city center in an opulent lifestyle. So for all of these, it is one person in a 1-bedroom outside of the city center living an opulent lifestyle. That is how I calculated it. If you do not think these numbers are right, email theearthawaits.com, not me. Thanks. All right. Next on my list is another city that was on Nomad Capitalist list. I have not been there, but I know people who have, who absolutely love it. And I know Black women who have been there who love this city. And so it hit all my criteria as well. Put it on the list. It is a place where you can get a 365-day visa, tourist visa. So you might already know what I'm talking about. It's Tbilisi, Georgia. It's got a low walk score, low crime. And the cost of living there is $852 a month. So you're getting in under $1,000. There's low crime, low walk score, and you can stay for a really long time, which helps expats and digital nomads. All right, let's keep going. Next on my list is my first city in Mexico. And the only one city in Mexico made this list. Boo-hoo. You know I love Mexico, so I'm a little sad about that. And I never know whether I'm saying this correctly. It's Querétaro or Querétaro. I do not know. I always say Querétaro, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Feel free to correct me if you're Mexican. All right. Querétaro has a high walk score, low pollution, low crime. You can get a 6-month tourist visa in Mexico with a reasonably easy path to residency. And the cost of living there each month is $962 for what I described before. One person, 1 bedroom, outside of city center, opulent lifestyle. Okay, sounds good. We're moving back out of Mexico. we're going to go over to Morocco, to Rabat, Morocco. Never been there. Morocco is one of those places I wasn't sure about putting on the list because some of the women I speak to, the Black women traveling alone, haven't been 100% comfortable there. But I put it on the list as an idea if you wanted to explore that area more. Morocco, Rabat has a high walk score, very important to me. Low pollution, low crime. They give a 9-day visa, but you can apply for residency, and the cost of living is $977 per month. Lots of good things going on there. All right. Last on my list of 5 places, South America, Cordoba, Argentina. Now that's on my list because it has a perfect 100 walk score, moderate crime. Unfortunately, it has high pollution, but I've lived in places that the Earth Awaits describes high pollution. They don't impact me. If you are really sensitive to pollution, if you have asthma, you want to look at those scores to see and know kind of how that's going to affect you. The cost of living there is $677 a month. You can get a 90-day visa to to Argentina with a pathway to residency. Now, backing up a second, whenever I mentioned how long you could stay, that was for people traveling on American visas, on American passports. How long you can stay in a country often depends on the passport you're carrying. If you are not carrying an American passport, ignore all of those numbers I said, hit Google yourself and find out the answer to those questions because I cannot give you the answer for every country. I give you the answer for the passport that I hold. Okay, note. I wanted to include a country in Africa. I did. Y'all know I love Johannesburg. I love traveling to Africa. I looked at places in Rwanda, coming in at like $1,300, but this is a $1,000 max project. And so some places in Africa, I could not find a place in Africa that fit within the criteria I was looking for. Maybe with a less opulent life or like a modest lifestyle or an ample lifestyle, you could fit within the budget criteria. Or I don't know. I don't know that all of the cities I would want to look for in Africa are actually available on the Earth Awaits. A lot of the major ones are. I know Johannesburg is, which is why I was sad it didn't show up on my list. But not every city in the world is listed here. So there are going to be cities that would fit this criteria that aren't listed on Earth Awaits. So I couldn't gather that information. But this is the list for me based on the information I have, based on the lifestyle I want to have. The 5 places to repeat again are Istanbul, Tbilisi, Querétaro, Rabat, and Cordoba. So that's where I would go. If you're still not sure where you would go, I know there's a lot of different things to put into the calculation. You can book an Ask Me Anything session with me. I help people all the time when they're thinking about becoming a digital nomad or they're thinking about moving abroad. I help them figure out places to go, cities to explore, what is a good fit for them. The Ask Me Anything session is there. I will also link to Nomad Capitalists' best places I would live for $1,000 per month in the description. And I'll link to a video describing why Mexico City was perfect for me because I am a big, big fan of Mexico City. And I think everyone should be too. So hit the description and you'll see those. You hit the description, you'll see those videos. And then go to the comments and tell me if you've lived in those cities, what your cost of living is without telling me that I'm wrong. Just go ahead and tell me what your cost of living was. And then go and tell me as well, if you were going to live in a city for less than $1,000 anywhere in the world, where would it be? And maybe what kind of lifestyle you think you could have. Would it be a modest lifestyle, an ample lifestyle, an opulent lifestyle? What kind of lifestyle could you have in that city for $1,000? I definitely want to hear that. Drop it in the comments and let me know. And until next time, bye.